Hi, welcome to the Mom series, The Misunderstanding of Multiplicity. This channel is mostly about a misunderstood condition called multiple personality, and at one time it was called MPD, Multiple Personality Disorder, and now it's called Dissociative Identity Disorder, DID, and how it's portrayed in the media. I try to just look at everything in small film, big film, book, interview, radio, TV, and anything in the media that speaks about multiplicity, and review it, talk about it from my point of view. I was diagnosed with multiple personality in 1986 and chose to try to be integrated for years and was in therapy for many, many years, and I do not consider my therapy to be unsuccessful. I chose to go a more popular route that a lot of people with that diagnosis who were diagnosed back in the 80s and who are diagnosed now do, which is sometimes healthy, just as healthy, is to live co-consciously, incorporating all of the persons, or what others call alters, doctors call alters, media calls alters, or alter egos or personalities, to keep everyone together and work cooperatively together as a whole unit, with respect and negotiation and intercommunication. So I look at everything, and what I've found over and over again is that, and a lot of people with multiple personality have found, is that it's the media that causes the stigma, and it's the misinformation or disinformation and myths and just sensationalism of an experience that became a condition for some, and for others it's not really a condition. It's a way of life and not so much a disorder, and for others it is very much a disorder, and it's on a continuum and a spectrum of dissociativeness and functioning. So I did a video, I did two videos actually, on a book called Sybil Exposed by Debbie Nathan that came out, I believe it was the end of September, beginning of October, and many interviews were done and a lot of marketing and a lot of hoopla out there. NPR did an interview, Goodreads did an interview, just Debbie Nathan has a YouTube video out here, radio shows, and it was Debbie Nathan's look at Sybil's life. The late Shirley Mason was AKA Sybil, and it was an attempt to look at, well, not, I shouldn't say an attempt, it was a look in Debbie Nathan's point of view, from everything she had seen at the John Jay library that was in the archives from Dr. Cornelius Wilbur and others, and interviews that she had done. She took an approach that it was a made-up condition that Dr. Cornelius Wilbur had induced into Shirley Mason, and that an entire industry of psychiatry had welcomed and made profit off of. And she also looked at it from a false memory syndrome point of view, very heavily geared towards false memory. What a lot of people in the multiple community had been waiting for was Dr. Patrick Suraci's book to come out, which was supposed to come out before Debbie Nathan's book, and his book is called Sybil in Her Own Words, which was to discuss Sybil in her second half of life, in her own words, taking a look at all of her paintings over the years, and interviews with her and what she wanted to do with her paintings in her latter part of her years. So Dr. Patrick Suraci, who was born in Rochester, New York, and had family in Rochester, New York, went off to live in New York City and actually became a psychologist and worked for the police department, the criminal forensic unit there, and got to know Flora Schreiber. He developed his own practice. He met Flora Schreiber, the writer of the book Sybil, shortly after it was published, and she gave him a copy, and they talked often about the book and about the case of aka Sybil. And when Dr. Cornelius Wilbur passed away in the 90s, Dr. Suraci got in touch with Shirley Mason and began a phone relationship for years with her through letter and phone, and asked for permission to tape her and to discuss her life, the book, the making of the movie, the painting, and she felt so secure with the relationship, and after a while, after building trust with him, that she asked him to complete what was her goal really with her paintings, was to have all of her paintings be made public to art therapists and teachers, and to help psychologists and people working with children to understand abuse patterns that show up maybe in art, and possibly even to be able to identify children in early stages of multiplicity. And I have to say, Dr. Patrick Suraci approached this subject matter so uniquely and so sensitive, so endearing to the three ladies involved, and genuine, very genuine, where he saw shortcomings in them, he spoke of it as it was. He didn't try to figure it out or anything. He just said what it was in the book. The book came out shortly after Debbie Nathan's book, and there was a little bit of like an author war going on that's still scuttlebutting about. You can go to Facebook, Sybil in Her Own Words, and you can find there's a page there devoted to the book, and the book came out last month in hard copy on Amazon. I think it was $48 with the tax, and well worth having on your shelf, and I'm saving for that. What I did was, he made the book available in e-reader, e-line books at Barnes & Noble, 25% off shipping and handling, $9.95, and at Amazon for $9.95 a download. You can download it to your computer and read it on their cloud, Kindle, or any of those widget things. I'm using cloud on Windows, and so I've been reading it for a good 3 weeks now, and it's the complete book, what you would get in the hard copy. It's excellent. goes all the way back to Sybil, or Shirley Mason's, birth. Her parents, her he interviews her cousins, several of them, and Naomi Rhodes, who was the closest. He spends time in their home. They feel very welcome with him. He spends a lot of time with Laura Schreiber, and they discuss Sybil, the making of Sybil, and how, and he even accompanies Dr. Wilbur and Laura to the movie set in the 70s when the movie was made. And he fulfilled Shirley Mason's wish. At the end of her life, she lets him know that she and Dr. Wilbur wanted all of her paintings to go to the public for education, and they wanted to make it into a book. But when Dr. Cornelius Wilbur passed away, Shirley did not know what to do with all the paintings, so she actually gives them all to him. She packs them up and sends them all to him. Save a few. There's a few that are missing, and really, I'd have to say his book is right up there with When Rabbit Howls. It's a book that I will save to get on my shelf, but everything you need is in the e-reader, online, all the paintings, and they really evolve over the years and show how, yes, Shirley Mason was multiple, and no, she wasn't the kind of multiple that, or didn't follow the kind of treatment that you would find today, and yes, some things were sensationalized in the movie, and she's very clear about what didn't happen and what did happen and why the producers wanted it to be a certain way. But everything everything in the book is true. She has plenty of opportunity, many conversations with Dr. Suraci to talk to him and tell him different, and he asks her, and he even goes on a little investigation of his own with a landscaper and maps, and he finds the chicken coop that is talked about that nobody could ever find. He finds where the original chicken coop was, the tree area and the little creek that she spoke of, and it's on the Mason acre land. And for me, it was very profound to look at the painting, because I could really see the possible coming together of a person who maybe was scattered and off, and even though we know now that integration of that kind is not needed, that it doesn't always hold. In Shirley Mason's case, it did hold, is what Dr. Suraci is saying in his book, is what Shirley Mason said. And he asks permission to tape her, and all of the quotes that are in the book of their phone conversations are really quite endearing and thought-provoking to read, because she was such a simple woman and a brilliant woman, but humble and generous, and she was not looking for fame. She wanted to keep her anonymity and continue to paint and teach, and that's what she did until she passed away. And in the end, Dr. Suraci put together a beautiful compilation of her life and of everyone in the group's life together with her through those years. And so I'd have to say, excellent book, and I hope you'll all go read it, and you can make your own videos and discuss it amongst yourself, and I'll give you the links. And I hope you have a nice holiday, and I hope everyone is doing well. All right, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.